Is that... There we go. Oh no, that's not... Okay, hold on. Hold on. Shit's not fucking working. Is it this mic? Yeah, it's this mic, okay. Why is it not my regular mic? Give me a sec. There we go, now we're back on my regular mic. Good lord! Fucking tech issues this morning. My laptop my computer like stalled while trying to restart. And then like the moment I hit start stream, my webcam stops working. And then I fixed my webcam and I'm like chatting away here for like 4 minutes. Only for me to realize my mic's not fucking working. Fantastic! We're gonna play more Ace Attorney Investigations 2 today. I need to keep an eye on the weather outside because I've got laundry on the line, so if I need to rush off midstream, just know that it has started raining and I'm getting my clothes off the washing line. I probably have more things I could say, but I wasted like 4 minutes rambling without any of y'all hearing me, so let's just get into the game, shall we? Fantastic. Fantastic. We will continue from Turnabout Legacy, which doesn't sound baking themed, but trust me, it is. Okay, I've finished my tea. We good. We good. Your 3 PM cake extravaganza. What shall we make today, kids?
Samson. And Judy's Bacon Bop.
Bacon Bop. Okay, so that's the name they went with. I forget what the name was in the fan translation. I'm not singing this. Macarons, waffle with that. Okay, that's too fast. Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All that sweetness waiting for you. What we're over there. The oven's got something special to share. Ping. Now let's see what we've got for you. Samson and Judy's Bacon Bop. Yeah, it's cooking time. Are you ready to make something special together? Let's go. Okay. Wow, talk about a blast from the past. Hey, Gregory. I'm going back there tomorrow with your boy. It's your boy, Edgeworth. I'm finally gonna find out what happened 18 years ago. I don't know if that was Fender's voice proper, but it went too fast for me to try and do it properly. Also, that's Mini Fender and Edgeworth's dad. April 2nd, the 10:05 a.m. Zodiac Hall Fountain Room. Here we are. Well, Fender, are you finally going to tell me what we're doing here? Just now realizing I should have gotten a throat lozenge. I will be back in a second. Look, I gotta keep my throat in good condition. I've got a cover song to record this weekend. I gotta get it sorted so that I can try and have it ready by, like, by the time I go to visit my parents so that I can put it up on my anniversary. Anyway. Are you finally going to tell me what we're doing here? Why have you brought me to an art gallery of all places? Hey, you had nothing going on. Seemed like the perfect chance to come and enjoy the magic of star signs stuff together. I'm leaving. Chill, big guy, I'm just joking. You know about the IS-7 incident, yeah? The old man's last case? Of course. Von Karma took great pleasure in showing me the files as soon as I became a prosecutor. And I reviewed them again last night after your invite. See? Da-da-da! I was also present at the trial all those years ago, although my memories of it are somewhat hazy. There he is. As a child, I was completely in awe of my father. The sight of him in court was inspirational. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, and opposite him, the man who would become my mentor, Manfred von Karma. It was quite the case. Fun fact, I'm pretty sure this here is not Von Karma's sprite from the original Ace Attorney. This is his sprite from Ace Attorney Investigations 1. However, it ended with the conviction of the accused. Ah, so you were there too? You were in the courtroom for Gregory's final outing? Well, that'll make explaining things easier. I wanted you to know something, see? That something being what really went down. Not the truth in those files, but the capital T truth. With a small t. It was 18 years ago, smack dab in the middle of a real doozy of a winter. The buildings were covered with a blanket of snow. Looked like the streets were lined with popsicles. But things weren't so innocent behind those frozen doors. In fact, some pretty sordid stuff went down. This was back before yours truly was the fine figure of an attorney you see before you today. 18 years ago. Going back to the past. December 24th. 5 p.m. Detention Center Visitors Room. And they've still got that fucking wanted poster up. They still haven't caught the guy. What the fuck? Oh shoot, now I've got to come up with a voice for young Eddie. Hey Mr. E, this one really came out of the blue, huh? Oh shoot, here's the problem, right? I know what Gregory sounds like in the fan translation. I don't know what he sounds like in the official game yet. It did. We were called in before the ink on the arrest papers were even dry. So this is his voice for now until we hear what his actual voice is. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm a defense attorney. I'm here visiting a client with my assistant, Eddie Fender. A murder on Christmas Eve? What's the world coming to? In the dark of the night, at the end of the day, I saw 2 timely saviors a coming my way. Welcome, my friends, to the visitor's room. And if we're not friends yet, I'm sure we will be soon. Oh no. Whoa, talk about an entrance of the gods doing the fucking jazz hands. Bruh. I was not expecting that. Neither was I. Sorry if I surprised you. I'm just so happy to see you both. Thanks so much for coming out. Seriously, I can't thank you enough. You're the accused, I take it? I am. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, at your service. He's got the same hat. Same hat! I look forward to representing you. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Pleased to meet you, sir. I'll do everything I can to help. Come now, Edward, calm down, please. You'll have to forgive him, he's still new to this. So Eddie's so he's not... legally speaking, he's actually Edward Fender, I guess. Okay. He's been helping me out part-time, but he's still far from fully-fledged lawyer material yet. Nonetheless, I'm hoping he'll be of some assistance in investigating the particulars of this case. Gregory and Eddie, it's an honor to meet you both. My job as a defense attorney is to save my clients from wrongful convictions. So the first thing to do is establish whether or not he is truly innocent. Perhaps we could begin by having you tell us a little about yourself. What am I thinking? I haven't even told you my name. I am Samson Tangaroa. Oh, like tango? Like... I'm missing the pun in Samson. Tangaroa. I can only think of like tango because it's like dancing. I prefer his... like, just because it's a more blatant pun, I kind of prefer his name from the fan translation, where he's named Jeff Master, which, if you switch the order of his names, becomes Master Jeff. In other words, Master Chef. Can I... If I look him up, will it spoil other names? Tangaroa. What? Okay, let me scroll down to name. I'm just like blocking out the rest of the screen to try and hide. Religious figures? Biblical judge and a Maori god of the sea, and his surname is a play on tango. Okay. Why the fuck is he named after religious figures? What? It really is you! Samson Tangaroa, the world's greatest confectioner? You flatter me, my young friend. And call me Samson. All my pals do. Wow, thanks, Samson. I will. I can't believe I'm meeting you in person. Seems Eddie knows something of our client. Mr. E! It's the Samson Tangaroa. The singing, dancing, confectionery making sensation. I'm not doing this. We saw this in the opening. Gregory is apparently not having any of this either. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. They do this multiple times during the case. I'm not doing this. I almost started dancing along. No way, I got to sing with Samson Tangaroa. This is a dream come true.
Thanks, little pal. It means a lot to hear you say that.
Meanwhile, Gregory's just adjusting his tie.
My apologies, but I think we need to discuss the matter at hand. Of course, I'm sure you're both very busy. Alright, where would you like me to start?
How about you?
So you're not just a confectioner, but also a singer and dancer? I sure am. When I'm having fun, my body just starts moving. You must really enjoy making desserts. Haha! Wouldn't be much of a confectioner if I didn't. I live to make sweets that bring joy to others.
Or did he say things? No? What Fender, no one said things. What? Fender? Hey, they're not just things, they're works of art. Sparkling, dazzling, mouth-watering creations. The stuff that dreams are made of. So he aims to create joyous and inspirational pieces, does he? Okie dokie. How about the incident?
I understand that the incident in question happened at your mansion. It did. We were holding an international confectionery contest. There, when a body was found inside one of my creations.
I guess this is why they named him after a god of the sea, because his contest dessert was like ocean themed. Still feels weird that that's what they decided to go with for his name, but okay. Inside one of your... No way!
The detective in charge placed me under arrest because of it, and now here I am. But I could never take a life. Never. I'm sure the police will see that too in time. They'll realize their mistake.
I sure hope so.
And what can you tell us about the victim? His name is Artie Frost.
Okay, now this one goes the opposite of Samson, where instead of taking a very blatant pun and making it a less blatant one, they took a less blatant, well, I guess they didn't take anything. They had a character who in the fan translation whose name was a less blatant pun, and now it's very blatant. Artie Frost, you know, art and Frost, you'll see why Frost is important later. But Artie Frost, I believe he was named Isaac Dover in the fan translation.
He was taking part in the contest. Mr. Frost was a wonderful confectioner. His creations were things of real beauty. I just don't understand. Why did he have to die? I'm sorry.
He seems genuinely upset over the victim's death. I think I have a pretty good measure of the man now.
Mr. Tangaroa, there's just one last thing I need to confirm with you. You didn't kill Mr. Frost, correct? Correct. I swear to you I didn't do it. Like I told you, I could never take a life. Never.
He seems quite sincere.
Alright, I'm going to take you at your word. Thank you for being so forthright with me. Likewise, it's good to talk to someone other than those detectives. We'll head to the scene of the crime and see what we can learn. We'll be in touch when we have something more to tell you. Goodbye, Gregory. Goodbye, Eddie. I'm counting on you both.
December 24th, 6 p.m, contest venue, Fountain Room. It's the same place. It's pretty cold out there, huh, Mr. E? I never saw that. I never saw so much snow.
Yes. It doesn't seem like it'll be letting up anytime soon.
But just look at this place. What a sweet house Samson's got. It's huge. He's just looking around everywhere.
Yes. Big enough to hold an international confectionery contest, no less.
Is that supposed to be her speaking? Because, like, she's not moving. Until we confirm that it's her, I'll just read it normally. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Come on in, we'll have us some fun. Oh, sorry, rather everyone and fun. They're not extending the vowel sound, they're extending the N. I feel like she wasn't supposed to be on screen during that. Oh no! Are you alright? I'm sorry. Would you happen to be Mr. Gregory Edgeworth by any chance?
I would. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm Eddie Fender, Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Oh no, Eddie's so young and already got that terrible ass hairline. How old is Eddie at this point, actually? Where's this button? 18 and already his hairline looks like that. Oh, this poor man. Oh no. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, welcome to our humble abode. Judy Bound. It's an honor to meet you both. Okay, so the joke is a little more obvious. Bound by itself can work with the whole tango thing because, you know, dancing. But Judy Bound, like, together makes it sound like duty bound, you know? Bound by Judy. Duty. My accent is making it harder to explain the pun. I can't fucking pronounce T's properly. Anyway, in the fan translation, her name was Catherine Hall, which is apparently a play on catering hall. Which, I mean, I guess it works. I feel like so far the only name we've been introduced to that I didn't like as much as the fan translation was Samson. Because Master Jeff is just a fantastic name, you know? It's just fucking Master Chef. Anyway, Judy Bound, it's an honor to meet you both. I'm the housekeeper here, and Mr. Tangaroa's assistant. You know, housekeeper! You're Judy Bound! The Judy Bound! You know a little something of my work? A little? I watch you on TV every chance I get! I'm Bacon Bob's biggest fan! That's very kind of you to say so. We'd be nothing without our fans.
And what might Bacon Bop be?
It's only the biggest show on TV. Every kid on the planet loves it. Yeah, okay. Hey. Thank you for the follow, Brahmustar. Hope you enjoy your stay. The dynamic duo of Samson and Judy make delicious sweet stuff, all while singing and dancing. Like this! Check it out! They're gonna do it again. God damn it. I'm not doing this. Here we are. I'm not doing this. You can read it yourself. It would be out of time if I tried to do it anyway. Because I can't. Actually, I don't know whether my new headphones have a delay on them. Huh. Anyway. That was a wonderful performance, Mr. Fender. Bravo! Hehe, I dance along every time I watch the show.
Perhaps Miles might enjoy it too?
I'll suggest it later. But all this dancing really takes it out of a guy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the world's worst hostess. Here, nothing relaxes the body and mind quite like a cup of tea. Clink, clatter, clatter, clatter. Oh, clink, clink, clatter, clatter. They have separate sprites just for holding the fucking teacups.
Ah, this is Ceylon, correct? It's delicious. Its citrus aroma is said to improve one's ability to concentrate, as I recall.
Interesting. So this is what Ceylon tea tastes like, huh?
How odd. The saucer's cold.
Yes, it's so that the tea cools down more quickly, I'm afraid. Some of our guests don't like it too hot.
I see. These teacups are very unique, too. The design is really quite something.
You think so? Thank you so much. I ordered them all the way from France. They're my absolute favorite. They were designed by a marvelous sculptor named Paul Halik. Have you heard of him?
I'm sure there's a joke there. Paul Halik. I don't speak French. His name in the fan translation, which I also don't know the pun of, is Pierre Hoquet. These are probably French puns that I am too Australian to understand.
He makes the most amazing tableware in the world.
You're clearly a big fan of his work.
Oh, I am. These teacups are my greatest treasure.
She's certainly not afraid to show when she's passionate about something.
If you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to move on to the reason we're here. Can you tell us everything you know about the unfortunate incident that occurred earlier?
Of course. I'm sorry for getting so distracted. I guess I'm still in shock. Because I'm the one who found the body, you see.
You discovered the victim? Is it true that the body was recovered from inside one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations?
It is. We were in the middle of the contest's final judgment phase when I heard the sound of something big collapsing from Samson's room. Samson, are you in here? Ah! I opened the door and went inside, and there was Mr. Frost's body.
Thank you. I'm sorry to make you relive such a traumatic experience.
Think nothing of it, please. I only wish I had more to tell you.
Now, if you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to begin our investigation of the crime scene.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you have to save Samson. He's no murderer. He could never do something like that.
Of course.
Leave it to us, Miss Bound. Thank you so much. I'll go serve the others their tea then.
Come on, Eddie. Oh, come, Eddie. To the crime scene. To the scene of the crime, rather.
I can read. I can read.
Yes, sir, Mr. E.
He's calling him... Oh, hey, that's someone I recognize. Is he calling him Mr. E, like mystery? Contest venue, December 24th, contest venue, Tangaroa's room. Interesting that they don't put a date time on it. Because, like, in the main Ace Attorney series, they normally don't put date times or, like, timestamps on the, what's it called? They normally don't put timestamps next to the date during investigation segments because, like, you can theoretically do things in, like, a different order depending on which order you go to, like, visit places. So putting a timestamp on there would, like, complicate things, which is why they only do it for the court segments where it's, like, predetermined. But in this series, like, it's all predetermined where you go next. So, I don't know why they're not putting the timestamp on it. Anyway, contest venue Tangaroa's room.
No way! Everything in this room is made of chocolate! I can't believe I'm getting to see so many of Samson's creations up close and personal!
I might be more excited myself if the room wasn't a murder scene.
Just hearing you say that sends a shiver down my spine.
That might just be the temperature in here. It's rather cold.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it is pretty chill. That's you!
Oh, we caught their attention.
Defense on the scene already? That was fast.
So, we haven't seen this guy yet in this game, but in the first Ace Attorney Investigations game, an older version of this guy appears. So, yeah. That's why I recognize him.
A pleasure to meet you, Gregory Edgeworth. I'm representing Mr. Tangaroa. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender.
Nice to meet you.
Bad. Detective Tyrell Bad.
The detective in charge is named Bad, man of few words.
Something about this just doesn't taste right.
You're eating your notepaper? He likes to chew over his thoughts rather literally, I'm afraid. It helps him to digest and remember them. It's a little quirk of his. Please try to ignore it.
Although, I'd be the first to admit that's easier said than done.
With introductions out of the way, Detective Bad, would you mind if we joined you in investigating the scene? Sorry, not gonna happen.
What? How come? Mr. Edgeworth is Mr. Tangaroa's attorney.
Yeah, and attorneys will do anything to get him off the hook. Even put words in their clients' mouths. You think I need that on my crime scene?
Mr. Edgeworth would never do something like that.
I don't trust attorneys. Okay, kid? Detective, you established my client's supposed guilt based on an investigation of the crime scene, correct? That's usually how it works, yeah. What of it? Then extend me the same courtesy. I believe he is innocent and would like a chance to prove it. You believe he's innocent? And you didn't even see the scene yet? That's some flimsy lawyering. That's exactly why I wish to see the scene for myself. I need to ensure that my belief is based on solid evidence and sound reasoning. You about to tell me you're not leaving until I let you look over the scene? I am. Fine. Knock yourselves out.
Man, it's this easy? You just firmly tell them, no, I'm not leaving, I want to investigate. And they're like, sure, fine. Phoenix always just had to rely on the detective being incompetent and being like, yeah, sure, whatever, you can investigate, is fine.
Thank you, Detective. But I'm coming around with you. Like I said, I don't trust attorneys.
This voice was a bad idea. A bad with 2 Ds idea. I mentioned I have a cover song to record. I'm probably not going to get time for it today, but this is going to wreck my throat. But it is the voice I gave him when I was playing through the first game on my own time, so I guess this is the voice we're going with. I did not mean to press that.
If you're good with that, go ahead and get to it.
That was a lollipop this whole time?
I must admit, I didn't see that coming either.
We'd better get started then. I'll need you to take notes, Eddie.
On it, Mr. E.
Let's get this over with.
Begin investigation. Start with the big one, I guess.
So this is where the body was discovered. Yeah. They took it away already, but everything else is just how we found it.
Guess we'll start here.
Appears the body was inside the treasure chest. Yeah. One by the name of Bound found it.
We literally just saw this.
Samson, are you in here? Ah!
Seems she heard something breaking and came in to see what it was.
If only we had just a little more information.
There's something else in here.
Huh, it's...
Looks like a seal of some kind.
with someone's initials. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I need to fucking... What's his Japanese name? Okay, so they just... Oh. Paul Halik is just an alternate spelling of his Japanese name, Paul Holick, which is a play on like some Japanese phrase that so the pun doesn't really translate, but the point is that it has the same initials so that they didn't have to redraw this sprite. Okay, I get it. I understand now.
Looks like a seal of some kind, with someone's initials and an intricate shape carved into it.
For making those fancy wax things on documents? Do you think it belonged to the victim?
No idea, but it's gotta get logged anyway, so I'll take that.
Seal found near the body when it was discovered. What could the design signify? Who knows? Okay, there's boat.
It's really rather impressive, making an entire ship out of chocolate.
That's Samson Tangaroa for you. Don't you just want to take a big bite out of it?
Which part to bite first, though? That's the real head scratcher, you know?
Bite any part of it, kid, and you'll be off this crime scene so fast your head will spin.
Hey, it was just a joke. Stop staring at me like that.
I do sometimes wish Eddie could keep his cool a little better. I don't think he gets any better at that when he gets older.
One of the stands for the ship is broken.
The ship must have collapsed onto the treasure chest and smashed it open. Wait, do you think... Could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship?
If he was, this becomes an accidental death and not a murder. You too serious? Don't worry, detective. For the moment, we're simply discussing the possibility.
I was being serious, though.
Detective, can you tell us a little more about the state of the victim's body? Let me see. Got a picture here someplace. You can see for yourselves. Death was from blood force trauma. What about the weapon? Has it been found yet? You can ask the prosecutor in charge about that.
The detective's not one for sharing much, I see.
Would you mind if we borrowed this? No skin off my nose. It's not like it's official. Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body.
An instant camera? Like, it's disposable or something?
No, it means that it develops the pictures right there and right there and then when you take them.
No way. Sounds pretty convenient. Now then, I'd better get my facts straight and take down some notes of my own. There's something in this picture that contradicts with the current crime scene. Guess we gotta get the tutorial stuff out of the way since we're playing as a different lawyer here. I'll need to call on my powers of deduction to figure out why. I know what it is. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. He has the same heckin' phrase. Look at this. Look at this gap here. Could this be related to the evidence somehow? Meanwhile, if we look at the picture, there isn't a gap, and instead there's blood.
Eureka!
Eureka! Okay, the voice I gave him is pretty close. I wonder who his voice actor is. Because, like, his voice actor in the fan translation has gotten pretty, like, notable as of late. But I feel like they probably wouldn't want to pull on the same voice actor as the fan translation, considering how much they've, like, deliberately strayed away from using names that are similar to the fan translation, except for Dijun Wang. But he has a reason why his name is similar.
You said the only thing that has been removed from the scene is the body. Yeah, that and the piece of cloth it was wrapped in. Then something here doesn't quite add up. It doesn't? Take another look at the scene in front of us, Detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should have been here is clearly missing. You're right. Don't remember anyone mentioning they removed the blood along with the body. Let me check with forensics.
What is the mystery? What did you figure out?
Compare the treasure chest in the photograph to the real thing. In the picture, the solid chocolate bottom continues underneath the deceased's head. And yet that part of the chest is now gone.
The part with blood all over it.
Exactly. So did the police remove it, or perhaps the killer? It wasn't forensics. They're saying nobody took anything like that away. Interesting. So somebody deliberately removed the blood from the scene. Could be.
Notes updated, let's go. And then I believe we probably have logic as well. Something broke, and the stand broke. And we got a little Gregory silhouette at the bottom instead of an Edgeworth one. Well, I guess they're both Edgeworths. But no one calls Edgeworth Miles. It's just always Edgeworth. Like, even fucking... Oh, I guess Phoenix and Edgeworth both call each other by their surnames.
The stand broke and the ship collapsed with it. And the loud sound it made brought Miss Bound running. Yeah. Said the ship had already keeled over by the time she got here. But why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break? Maybe the whole thing was off balance from the get-go.
Could that really have been the case? Okay. Let's have a look around. My throat is already dying.
There's some very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. This tea set is of the same design as the one Miss Bound served us with earlier. You think Samson
could have been drinking tea out of that?
The pot and cup were dusted for prints. His were the only ones they found. And was that the case for the utensils, too? Everything else had been washed, so there weren't any prints to find.
And if Mr. Tangeroa was wearing gloves while he was working on his confectionaries, that could explain why his prints were only found on the teapot and cup. Mr. Tangeroa's teapot, a Paul Halik piece with Tangeroa's fingerprints on it.
Oh, okay. A well-equipped kitchen, as one might expect. Sadly, it doesn't look like there's much to be found in the way of clues. Nothing of interest in the fridge either. We checked.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna ignore this guy and just look around instead.
This is a fine selection of nautical paraphernalia. You think one of them could be the murder weapon? No, they're all made out of chocolate. You'd have a hard time bludgeoning someone to death with one of them. Can't tell what's real in here.
They really do look genuine. I can hardly tell the difference myself. A true testament to Mr. Tangaroa's skills.
What are you investigating, officer?
Sir, I was just taking the temperature of the water here.
And what have you learned?
Oh, it's warm, sir. The stream in each room flows into the main fountain, and then the water is circulated back to the rooms.
Unusual, to say the least. I've never seen a house quite like this one. Rich folks. They're all crazy.
I mean, is he wrong?
How's it looking over here, officer? Nothing of interest in that cupboard, or...?
Yes, sir.
So, there is?
Oh, no, there isn't. Just a blowtorch used for cooking and some tableware, sir.
You're the man, Mr. Attorney. Nothing to add, am I right?
No.
So, you do have something to...
Oh, no.
Can't get a straight answer out of anybody.
Perhaps you should ask a straight question. Well, of course, it's Ace Attorney. You won't find any straight answers here. Sorry. Oh, I can't look at this, okay. Guess we gotta talk to this guy.
And you are? Sorry, meditating. Did you need something, detective? Oh, I'm an attorney, not a detective. Gregory Edgeworth. A pleasure to meet you.
And I'm his assistant, I'm his assistant, Eddie Fender.
I see. Name's Carmelo Gusto.
I think that works. His name in the fan translation was Dane Gustavio. I don't know what the Dane comes from, but like Gusto and Gustavio both come from like I forget what it's called. It's like the gustatory system or something. It's whatever system like through your body controls like your taste, your sense of taste. So it works. And then Carmelo, you know, that it's obviously caramel. So that's a more obvious than whatever Dane was supposed to represent. So the pun is more apparent, but also it's just not a particularly funny name either way. But it works. Not all the names have to be funny.
Name's Carmelo Gusto.
Should it be Gusto or Gusto? I'm gonna say Gusto.
I am a confectioner, here for the contest.
You are? What's your specialty, Mr. Gusto? Ta-da!
The art of air and sugar.
No way, look at that! It's a little baby seahorse.
It's a dragon, a noble soaring creature of the skies.
That's a dragon? It does look more aquatic than airborne.
No need to sugarcoat it. My design sense is weak. I know that better than anybody. That's why I'm heading to Zhengfa when this is all over. I need to train hard.
And I guess Zhengfa just has impeccable design sense. Perhaps we should get off the subject of his design sense for now.
So, what are you doing in here, Mr. Gusto? I didn't think they were allowing civilians on the scene yet. Detective wanted to know more about one of the pieces here.
Makes sense, seeing as he's a contestant. Perhaps I should ask him a few questions of my own. Carmelo Gusto. Fuck.
Those are some interesting implements you use, Mr. Gusto.
Ta-da! It's a chicken.
Sugar blowing pumps. They put air into the sugar.
They're so cool. It's like watching a sword master do his thing.
I'm no master. Not a day goes by that I don't hurt myself one way or another. That's why I wear red. That way it doesn't matter when I make a mess. The way of the confectioner is a lonely one. You never stop learning, not until you die.
The way of the confectioner sounds like a long one too if he's still injuring himself on a daily basis. Oof.
What can you tell us about the contest? Based on what we've seen so far, flavor doesn't seem to be the only criteria at play. The contest was Tangaroa's idea. It's about art. Confectionery as art.
Confectionery as art?
Art you can eat, every part of it. Every single item in this room is edible.
The whole place does kind of smell like chocolate.
Tangaroa is a genius, a once-in-a-generation talent. Flavor and flair, he has it all. And if you can't outdo the god of confections himself, you can't win.
I don't know, man. Beating out the greatest in the world seems kind of hard, yeah?
As it should be. Whoever beats him becomes the greatest in turn. That's the real prize here. Nothing else matters. So you're competing for a title, effectively. And a treasure. The ultimate cookbook. Tangaroa's most prized possession. If you want to know more, it's all written down here. It's the list of rules that was given out to the contest, to contestants.
Reading! Oh, I had dropped frames at some point, okay. Cool. Today's just the day of shit going wrong. Piece of paper listing the rules for the contest. We should probably have a read of that. Prizes, the ultimate cookbook, the title of the world's greatest confectioner. Rules, judging will proceed clockwise from the leftmost room. All contestants together in Mr. Tangaroa's room when judging ends. No non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. Stands and display materials will be provided. Contestants may not enter another contestant's room until judging has been completed. Okay. Now what about the incident?
Sorry, I don't know much about what happened. I only heard about it after the judging was over. How was the judging organized? It started at 3 p.m. Tangaroa began making the rounds right around then. He left his own room.
Oh! So, okay, there's a character here who we haven't met yet. Their name is on the thing, the diagram. But it's I find it interesting because their surname is remarkably close to what it was in the fan translation.
He left his own room and then worked his way around the venue clockwise. My creations were the first to be judged. After that, he went to Scone's room. She's another of the contestants. What can you tell us about her? Ruthless, brutal. There's nothing she wouldn't do to win. She was working with cream, some kind of dreamscape. Then last of all, Frost's room. His thing was flavored ice. Sculptures this time, or so I heard.
And that's why the surname Frost is important.
Bound found the body while Tangaroa was still making the rounds. She panicked, ran to call the cops. Tangaroa went right on judging, claims he didn't know a thing about it until afterward. Went ahead and looked over the victim's work, even though the guy was nowhere to be seen. Pretty suspicious behavior in anyone's books.
I don't have enough information to challenge him on that yet.
By the way, Detective Matt, what were you and Mr. Gusto talking about earlier? I was going to ask about the piece on the wall here, the one in the frame. Seemed like something was off. Thought I'd better ask someone who knows about this stuff. But then you bozos showed up and pulled me away from my very important job.
Very important work. Angel beset by thorns. Okay.
Perhaps we can take a closer look at it together.
A diary of despair. Okay.
Can't take a hint, can you? Mr. Gusto, would you mind helping us out? Of course. Confectionery is my life. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Okay, let's start with what this is.
Looks like a fire alarm. Yeah. And before you start prodding it, it's not made of chocolate. Push it and bells will start ringing. People will come running from the security room. Oh, bunch of asshole. So don't. I know you want to, but don't. Honestly, the thought hadn't even crossed my mind. Typical attorney.
What does being an attorney have to do with anything?
Candelabra, made of chocolate. There's a title here. The Light of Life.
I'm thinking tomorrow I might have to stream something that isn't Ace Attorney. Solely because holy shit, Bad's voice is going to completely destroy my throat. And I need my throat for singing. I may not be particularly good at singing, but it helps if I can, you know, not be dying in the process. Well, this particular light seems to be missing one of its life-giving flames. Does it have some sort of symbolic meaning? Or could it be... ... Diary of Despair.
It's a journal belonging to the captain of the chocolate ship, also made of chocolate. A Diary of Despair. That's some title. Come, hearken. See how we crossed the sea and rode the red tide to misery. Quite a jaunty rhyme for such a tragic-sounding tale.
What about this?
Who knew you could make a picture this pretty out of chocolate? Samson really is a god among men.
Is it really made out of chocolate, though? It looks far too much like a regular illustration to me. You have a good eye. I'm impressed. That's no piece of candy. That's the ultimate cookbook. The ultimate cookbook. In other words, the grand prize.
What? So it's not made out of chocolate after all?
No. The book is simply enframed in some. Tangaroa showed it to all of us when he gathered us here to explain the rules.
So the participants knew that the grand prize was in this room the whole time.
Anyway, you see it too, right? The frame. Something's missing.
Ah, the oddity Detective Bad was going to ask Mr. Gusto about earlier, yes.
You're right, Detective. Something is missing from this frame. So it's not just me.
Huh? What's missing?
I'd better show Eddie which part of the frame is missing some chocolate. Well...
Take that!
Take that!
Look at the decorative work in the corner here. Something's missing, no?
Oh yeah, it's different from the other side.
That's not like Tangaroa. The balance is all wrong. But that's not all. Take a look around. Every confection in this room is missing some small bit.
Oh, I just noticed the ship's wheel is missing one of the thingies.
You're right. The candle holder, the nautical stuff, they're all like that. Did someone deliberately damage them?
Tangaroa's creations have been tampered with in several places.
That's a very good question. Or did Tangaroa just want it to look like somebody messed with his work?
He'd never do that to his own creations.
Could this have some deeper meaning for the case? Scout the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. What about... Yeah, these are something different, okay.
Are these finger marks? Yeah, but we don't know whose yet. Still haven't figured it out. No fingerprints, no ID.
Finger marks without prints. They could certainly be important to the case. Frame, finger marks. Someone left finger marks on the chocolate frame but didn't leave any prints.
It's a real head scratcher, all right.
Not really. I'm guessing whoever it was wore gloves.
Aw, where's your sense of romance, of adventure?
There doesn't tend to be much of either at a crime scene, Eddie.
It's you.
You're right, Eddie.
Yeah, but it sure is chilly in here.
Yes, it wasn't exactly warm out in the fountain room either. But it's even colder in here. Would you like to borrow my jacket?
No, I'm fine. Besides, you said you'd give it to me when I finally got my attorney's badge.
I did, didn't I? Why do they have the heat down so low? Chocolate needs to be kept at the right temperature. Take a look behind the panel on the wall. What panel?
59 degrees Fahrenheit.
What is that in Celsius? I don't speak freedom.
$15 degrees, holy shit, that is cold.
I mean, it does get colder sometimes, but like that for a regular, like every... Although I guess on a winter day when it's apparently snowing outside, well, I guess if you expect it to be warm inside, anyway.
Look at that, it was here this whole time.
There's one in each of the contestants of the contest rooms. Tangaroa hid them so they wouldn't spoil the aesthetic of our works. And what do the controls do? They adjust the temperature and the lighting. Goes all the way down to negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, cold enough to keep any confectionery from melting. So in effect, each room is a giant freezer.
It's 59 degrees in here. No wonder I'm cold. Hey, Detective Bad, you, mind if we turn it up a little?
Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work.
No, I'm not a detective.
The same goes for attorneys, Eddie. We must never disturb the scene of the crime.
Phoenix does that all the fucking time, though.
Get used to the cold. It's all part of your training. Chocolate needs to be kept between 59 and 65 degrees. There's no way around it.
Are you sure about that? That's awfully cold. Can't you just like... If you temper chocolate, doesn't it like set at room temperature? I am drawing on all of the knowledge that I have gained from watching one fucking baking channel on YouTube. She doesn't even do baking videos anymore. But I still know a thing or two about tempering chocolate.
You know the temperatures by heart, huh? Guess it is your job. It's the very least I should know. Any real confectioner should be able to tell you that and more. Alright, what about lollipops? And cream? It's not too hot or humid, a lollipop should be just about fine just about anywhere. Cream needs to be kept at around 50 degrees. You gotta watch out for heat and humidity, huh? Duly noted.
Detective Bad kind of brightened up when he was talking about lollipops, didn't he?
Suppose he must be very fond of them. I don't believe there is any more to be found here. Okay, so why did you put me back here then? Logic time. Damaged creations. Why did it break? Maybe the stand was damaged. Maybe the stand was one of the damaged creations.
All of Mr. Tangaroa's creations are missing a little piece each, including one of the stands that was holding up the ship. Somebody really went all out.
Do you think it could have been the killer?
It's certainly a possibility. Either way, I think we can safely say the stand was damaged in our mystery person's tampering spree.
And when it broke, the ship fell and smashed open the treasure chest, which would have remained closed otherwise.
Investigation complete.
Oh, we had more dropped frames. Bruh.
Today is just the day of tech issues.
I think we're about done here for now.
Crime scene notes have been updated.
Well, if I wasn't convinced before, I am now. Tangaroa did it. No two ways about it.
What do you mean?
All the rooms in this place, locked from the inside. The only way to unlock them from the outside is with this key. I see. Who had access to that key? Who do you think? Tangaroa. And it's the only one. There aren't any copies.
The one and only key that unlocks every door in the mansion. Tangaroa was in possession of it the entire time.
With the mansion key, Tangaroa could slip into anybody else's room. Anytime he liked. And he could even lock his own room from the outside if he wanted. But Mr. Tangaroa's room wasn't locked, was it? Nope. Which is exactly what makes him a suspect. Would you care to explain your thinking?
Testimony time. Why I think Tangaroa did it.
If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect. Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room.
I feel like... I know Ace Attorney is like almost a parody of the legal system, but like... I feel like the logic of... If it was like this, he would be suspicious. And it's not like this, so clearly he set it up to do it like this so that he wouldn't be suspicious. Doesn't fucking hold.
And why he smashed the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up, so he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. The one thing he didn't plan on was Bound finding the body. Anyway, that's my thinking on this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney? Do you also believe it was Mr. Tangaroa who damaged the other pieces in this room? Yep. I know you have to believe your client. That's your job. But I'm a detective, and I serve the law. No matter how squeaky clean someone might seem, a suspect is still a suspect. I fully understand your reasoning, Detective. Now, would you mind if I applied a little critical thinking of my own? Do your worst.
Just as the detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my beliefs either. And I'm not about to just accept his version of events. In fact, I'm going to show him the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claims. Okay. If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect. I don't know yet where I'm supposed to present.
That's hardly solid grounds on which to base your suspicion of Mr. Tangaroa, Detective. And that's hardly solid grounds to start shouting objections left and right, Mr. Attorney. Maybe quit interrupting and let me finish.
I've noticed. So in the original Ace Attorney Investigations, he has a habit of like pulling out a mirror when he reaches into his coat like that. He hasn't done that yet. He reaches into his coat and then just takes his hand back out. So maybe he doesn't have his mirror yet because his hair isn't going grey yet.
Maybe quit interrupting and let me finish.
That's why he deliberately didn't lock his room.
And why would he deliberately not lock his door? Because if he'd locked it, he might as well have held up a sign saying he did it, since he he had the only key.
But maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe he just left it unlocked without meaning to.
He just happened to leave it unlocked, and somebody just happened to find a body inside. Come on, kid. You'll never make detective thinking like that.
But I don't want to be a detective. I want to be an attorney.
I'd be grateful if you'd stop trying to steal my apprentice.
Look, there's a reason why Tangaroa left his door unlocked.
And why he smashed the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on full display.
Hold it!
You're saying Mr. Tangaroa himself deliberately smashed the treasure chest open? Yep. If he had, the body would have never been found. I struggle to see how he managed to destroy his creation while judging the contest at the same time.
Exactly. Besides, there's no way he would have disrespected his sweets. He eats every last crumb on Bacon Bop while dancing. That's the only way his stuff gets destroyed.
This isn't about what happens on TV, kid. You know about Bacon Bop, Detective?
Am I the only one who isn't familiar with this show? Wow, I never would have guessed. Can you sing the theme song too?
All that? Never mind that now. Focus. The point is this. Tangaroa was responsible for breaking that lid.
Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished.
The judging began with Mr. Gusto's room, correct? Yeah. Kinda wanted to check his hard candy stuff out myself. In that case, how about a demonstration?
What's he gonna make this time? Dogo!
Well, it's you, Detective.
Are you calling him a dirty dog?
It's a wolf.
No, the wolf is the other detective. The one from Interpol.
Huh, a lone wolf. I like it.
I'm starting to enjoy these little displays.
Anyhow.
So he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there.
Hold it!
Do you have a clear idea of when the murder took place? Not yet. Autopsy report's still pending. And yet you still went ahead and arrested Mr. Tangaroa. We may not know when the murder happened, but we know when the body was discovered. It was while Tangaroa was judging Gusto's room. A perfect alibi if he could set it up just right. But still not grounds for an arrest. Surely you have to agree with that. Do I? Especially when I've got nothing more to say to you.
Why do I get the feeling he's hiding something? Detective Band seems pretty convinced Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit.
But there's no way he would have vandalized his own creations. No way.
Still, the treasure chest did get smashed in. There's no denying that.
Perhaps we should focus more on what led to the body's discovery. Doing so should make it easier to spot the flaw in Detective Bat's theory.
Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room, and why he smashed the lid of the treasure chest. Is it that we're like... if he wanted to smash it, why did he not smash it and then leave? Why did he set... Because he said, oh, the only thing he wasn't counting on was Miss Bound to find it. If so, why didn't he just smash it in advance instead of rigging it to smash while he was going? Right? What does it say in here? Part of the treasure chest was covered in blood, is missing. Every other item in the room is also missing a piece. Victims inside the chest, the lid was closed until the ship collapsed. Yeah, so he didn't smash the lid, the ship did.
Objection!
We've established that the body was hidden inside the chest, and that Miss Bound only came running into this room when she heard a sound.
I'm going to have my throat lozenge because it's about halfway through my usual stream time. And there's gonna be more Detective Bad that I have to contend with. Why did I give him a voice that is like murder on my throat? This is just a thing I do, and then I refuse to correct it.
It seems reasonable to infer that the sound was that of the chocolate boat collapsing. Sure. Seems likely, based on the evidence. And yet you assert that it was Mr. Tangaroa who had smashed the lid of the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear it was the ship that did the smashing.
I feel like this is where Bad goes like, okay, so...
And if that had occurred only moments before Miss Bound had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangaroa, who was out judging the contest at the time.
Hold it.
I never said he did it then and there. Could have also done something to the stand, so it had collapsed when he was in the middle of judging.
Objection.
Have you any way of proving that assertion? Nope. But the investigation isn't over yet. There's still time.
So he doesn't have anything conclusive.
Have you found any prints on this room besides those of Mr. Tangaroa? Yep, on the door. But we found Tangaroa's and Frost's prints on there too. We were all brought in here for a briefing, right before we started work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then. I take it you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangaroa's works for prints yet? Why would... We know that somebody tampered with them. Therefore, it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so. Fine. But if we don't find anything, your guy's still top of my list. Got it.
Let's go.
You, check all this chocolate stuff for prints. Now.
Yes, sir, right away. Oh no, they're gonna ruin all the chocolate. We won't be able to eat it now. It's gonna have fingerprint powder on it. We wouldn't have gotten to eat it anyway. Detective Bad, we finished dusting the chocolate and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangaroa, sir.
Go on. Whose?
Hold on, Hold on. That is just straight up like... Is it like the... Oh, why did it go immediately to the image gallery? Why did it... I fucking hate fandom. Dog shit website. Oh! That's why. It's because in the Japanese version, her name is just straight up... It's because she's a foreigner in the Japanese version, she has a foreign name, Delicious Scones. A delicious scone, rather. So in the English version, they just... Oh no, Delishi Scone. So then in the English version, they just changed it to Delicious Scone. And then in the fan translation, they changed it to Delicious Scones. But so that explains why it's so fucking close to the fan translation. It's because it's literally just a direct, like, romanization of her Japanese name. Because she never had a Japanese name, really. Delicious Scone, sir. She's one of the contestants.
Good work. You can go back to whatever you were investigating before.
Yes, sir.
So it seems we have a suspect besides Mr. Tangaroa. Even without your lawyerly input, I wasn't about to wrap up the investigation anyway. I'll go speak to Miss Scone and see what she has to say for herself. Delicious Scone.
Mr. Gusto mentioned her too.
He said that she was ruthless, that she'd do anything to win.
This scone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, eh, Mr. E?
Yes. I think we'd better try and speak with her ourselves as well. Detective Bad, would you mind if we accompanied you? Babysitting you is not my job.
Oh, come on!
But I guess you did pick up a couple useful clues already. So if you want to tag along, be my guest. Thank you, Detective. You're too kind.
But Detective Bad, sir! I don't think that's such a good idea. The lead prosecutor is still busy in there.
It'll be fine. Me and him don't exactly see eye to eye anyhow.
Who is this him? Who did they assign to the case? Who did they assign the case to?
Manfred von Karma.
What? They give it to Von Karma? He hasn't lost a case in 25 years.
Oh yeah, because it's the first Ace Attorney game takes place 15 years after this. Because this game is 18 years after this case, and it's 3 years, I think, 3-ish years after the original Ace Attorney. So that explains why it's only 25. Well, I was doing the math in my head because it's like, I think in the original Ace Attorney they mentioned he hasn't lost a case in 40 years. Anyway, Manfred von Karma, a living legend over at the prosecutor's office. We've never faced one another in the courtroom, but I've heard plenty of stories. They say he'll do anything to ensure a guilty verdict. But I can't let that distract me. For now, I need to continue to do what I believe is right. To be continued! Let's save our progress. Investigating Miss Scone's room. There she is. December 24, 7:30 p.m. Contest venue, Scone's room.
Whoa, a candy castle! And look, there are even some little elves to go with it.
Room's laid out, pretty much the same as Tangaroa's, only flipped.
Not as cold though, that's something.
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like there's a temperature control panel in here too.
Over there where that orange light is, right? We better take a closer look at it when we can.
Oh, that was Greg.
It's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this whipped cream covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicious Scone.
Where is Miss Scone?
I think she's supposed to be... I can't remember if she's British or Scottish.
Me? Why, I'm just over here, dearie.
I don't think that sounded like either.
Oh, just look at you lovely boys. Delicious Scone at your service. Some cheeky blighters back in Blighty even call me Miss Delicious, teehee.
Blighty, hold on. Okay. Blighty is apparently an informal term for Britain or England, so... I guess that means she's British and not Scottish. Okay. Cool. Caught a lovely boy at 34. Unexpected, to say the least.
Lovely boys? Really? Even Mr. E? Oh yes, dearie. You, the detective over there, you're all lovely boys to me.
I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bad.
I wonder just how old she is. Never ask a lady her age, Mr. E.
Finish this up so we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney. Yes, alright.
Oh! There's the voice line.
What's the meaning of this? Chit-chatting with the defense?
Great, more deep voices to destroy my throat.
Mr. Edgeworth, some scary guy just stepped out of the castle.
Von Karma.
What? He's Manfred von Karma?
Oh, he's even got the theme.
Eep, sorry mannequins.
Mannequins. The notorious Prosecutor von Karma himself.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law. I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear, never to show your sniveling face again.
What a thoroughly rude individual.
Those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow. You're even scarier than they say.
No wonder he kept pointing that out about Edgeworth. And you might want to keep such rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie.
We were hoping you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma. Huh. And why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy?
It is clear this clearly isn't going to be easy.
So long as your inquiries are limited to this room, I suppose I'll allow it.
Why the sudden change of heart?
You, the tall fellow. Name's Bad. Is that so hard to remember? I didn't ask for your opinion. The thoughts of a lowly detective do not concern me. But I do admire your spirit. Bad. See to it that these worms don't step out of line. Why do I have to? I'm not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusto's room. Good day.
Off he goes.
Great. More babysitting.
Why aren't Detective Bad and Mr. Von Karma investigating together? They don't seem to know each other well enough for there to be bad blood between them.
Well, looks like we have permission to investigate. Guess we better get to it.
Indeed. I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much. Hold up. I haven't been over this room yet either. You're not messing it up before I get my chance. You'll have to wait till I'm done.
Huh? But I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet?
Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me. Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did.
That answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose.
Let's say we look over the room together, Detective. I've worked out well enough before. Then you won't have to worry about us messing things up. You can keep an eye on us as we go. What kind of screwball attorney asked to have a detective breathing down his neck? I guess I'm stuck with you for a little while longer.
Yes, you're amazing, Mr. E.
You have our thanks, Detective Bad. Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here. Of course, we understand. Now, shall we begin?
Begin investigation. Let's start with this.
It's an incredible piece of work. Hard to believe this whole castle was made out of sugar and cream.
I know, right? It's like we're inside a magical medieval story or something.
I didn't know you were so into such fantastical things.
Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get so carried away there.
Oh, no need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. Sometimes I wish my own son was as animated as you.
You have a son, Mystery?
Okay, admittedly, I don't know how long Fender and Gregory have been working together, but this is like the last case they worked on together, right? Which begs the question, how did he not fucking know? Presumably they worked together for some time, considering, you know, their closeness and the fact that, you know, Fender was like, oh, I gotta keep the Edgeworth name alive, I gotta keep the law firm running. How have they gone this long without Eddie learning that Edgeworth has a son?
I do. He's still in elementary school, and yet he'd rather read a statute book than a fairy tale. I can't help but worry that his interest will make it hard for him to make friends.
Don't say that. He sounds super interesting. He'll make a ton of friends. Me included, I'm sure.
I'd like to think you'd be more of a big brother than a friend, Eddie.
A big brother, huh? Guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously.
Indeed. Then with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation?
We must scour the scene. What is this?
The doors of the castle have been left wide open.
Yeah. Was the guy born in a barn? He could have at least closed them behind him. I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Von Karma's face, Eddie.
Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see.
Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. Cream's going all runny.
The whipped cream is melting and will lose its shape at the slightest touch. It's all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside a candy castle?
Alright, tell me what you want me to look at first.
What's this?
There's a bunch of blue cloth back here. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls all together. Well, they certainly aren't made of candy. No idea what this stuff is for. Almost looks like somebody hid it in here.
And I think I've seen fabric of the same color somewhere else before. Hey, welcome, Chad. The rolls are cool, but what's the gold rocks? Well, we're about to find out.
2 big rock crystals. Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage.
There are so many fucking typos. Could they not have proofread this just a little? I really do kind of feel like, especially with how close this came out to the Apollo trilogy, I really can't help but feel like they tried to rush this compilation out the door for some reason. I think they meant it's the castle. Man, we're finally getting to play the missing Ace Attorney game that fans overseas missed out on for fucking years. And this is the quality of the translation we're getting. Thank you for the redeem, Chad. I need it with how much Bad's voice is destroying my throat. It's finally here. Sag. Come
Kinda expected something a little more exciting behind those doors. Oh, I know. Maybe they're giant uncut gemstones. And maybe this whole thing is based on a story about a castle with a priceless treasure hidden inside.
I think I'd treat my priceless treasures with a little more care. Huh? There's something on the bottom of them. It looks like a little stand or something.
For some reason, there are stands mounted to the bottom of the rock crystals we found inside the Candy Castle. I was right, they are gemstones! The stands must be so they can be put on display.
Well, whatever they are, it seems they're not just a large set of paperweights.
Well, what about these? I wonder where those stands could fit.
Huh, these pillars. They have hexagonal indentations. Looks like something's supposed to go in here.
Oh, that's bad, sorry.
Looks like something's supposed to go in there. Well, whatever they are, they're long gone.
Hexagonal indentations, huh?
I wonder. Yeah, I wonder too, Eddie.
Castle's covered in whipped cream, so maybe a giant strawberry?
A giant strawberry with a hexagonal bottom?
Look, I like strawberries, okay? Can't blame a guy for wishing.
It's so funny that they brought back Bad for this. Like, I understand they needed some detective to put here, and like, this is before Gumshoe's time, so they couldn't use Gumshoe for this. But the fact that they brought back Detective Bad for the candy, for the candy-themed case is very funny to me. Because, like, initially he's a very serious character, aside from the fact that he has a fucking lollipop in his mouth. But then he gets plopped into this case and it's like, it's all candy. And he's just like, yep, I'm in my element. I prefer bananas myself. Blueberries for me. Anyway, let's logic. Because it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Rock crystals with a hexagonal bottom and hexagonal indentations in the pillars. Pretty obvious logic here.
The rock crystal stands and the pillars in front of the crystal feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars.
Oh yeah! Hexagon to hexagon. Makes perfect sense.
But if that's the case, then why were they being hidden inside the castle? Oh yeah, since you just came in here, Chad, I should explain. We are currently playing a case 18 years in the past, playing as Edgeworth's dad. It's the last case he worked on, which ultimately leads to him getting killed by Von Karma. So this is technically speaking, this case is the catalyst for the entire Ace Attorney series. Everyone's like, it goes back to DL6, but no, this is the case that leads into DL6. Anyway, why were they being hidden in the castle? Death by strawberry. The rolls of blue cloth and the rock crystals inside the castle. I imagine most must belong to Miss Scone.
Miss Scone, what were you using the items inside the castle for?
Oh, those? Sorry, Lambkin, but I'm not allowed to say.
Let me guess. Von Karma?
Hey! How did you know? But please don't ask me to tell you. He'll have my guts for garters.
Seems the prosecution really has no intention of sharing anything with the defense. Man, thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but...
What's that, dearie? You're interested in my little trinkets?
Your trinkets?
Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed.
You use rock crystals and cloths to do that?
I do. It's wonderful, you should see it. And they're not just any old rock crystals either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights inside them. Wow, those things are lamps? Oh, that's not even the half of it. Those cloths hold an even more exciting secret.
She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets. It's like, no, don't ask me about that. Von Karma will be angry with me. Oh, you're interested in talking about that? Hold on, let me spill everything.
Since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic, Batty Bumpkin! Can you get it all out and set it up for me?
The name is bad.
Is that a no?
Don't ask me about my obsessions.
Why are you being so selfish, Batty Bumpkin?
You finished taking photos of this room yet?
Yes, sir, we have.
Then help Miss Sconir with something, will you?
Yes, sir, right away.
Oh, you're a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Batty B? That's amazing, Miss Scone. You got him to do exactly what you wanted. That's some talent.
The power of embarrassment.
Thank you ever so much, Baddykins, and you, Officer Lovely. She's even giving nicknames to the forensic guys now.
I guess it's her way of showing that she cares. So, what about this is supposed to be relaxing exactly?
Oh, don't be such a big sourpuss, Batty B. The fun's only just beginning. Officer Lovely, you can switch it on now.
Yes, ma'am. Ta-da! It's magic.
Huh.
Wow, it's beautiful.
It is.
I wish my son were here to see it.
Isn't it though? Isn't it just wonderful? The 4 adorable elves and the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my theme, you see.
I'm pretty sure in the fan translation they were fairies instead of elves. But really they don't really look like either. I mean, I guess. What is the what does that thing in the top corner look like to you? I don't know. It's some generic forest creature. It is some sort of fairy tale creature. I don't know if I'd call it a fairy. I don't know if I'd call it an elf. It's a creature of some sort.
And I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen?
I was trying to logic, but I don't think logic is the right choice. Yeah, not with this lady. Hold on, does it actually... Oh yeah, she's one of the age question mark characters. A confectioner of indeterminate age.
I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen?
What if the elves must be feeling a little left out?
This is how it was supposed to look for the contest. But I'm glad you lovely boys got to see it at least.
Wait, shouldn't the lamps be lit up too?
Oh, what's happening there, I wonder?
I think we'd better take a look at the lamps and elves one more time. Okie dokie. Let's have a look at these here. Oh, hello. Oh, no one noticed that while we were setting things up? Huh? Okay. Sure. it just, okay, bloodstain. Who's in charge of slapping that? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Oh, I wonder what could catch my attention. Oopsie, it's just some strawberry.
The lamps appear to be broken. Bulbs are smashed, both of them.
Maybe they fell and broke on the floor? Look, there's a red stain on on the one on the left.
That's not just a stain. Yep, it's blood, all right.
Man, crimes in the past were so simple. The soul lamp is stained with somebody's blood. What? Blood? Why is there blood on this lamp? Could it have something to do with why the bulb is broken? You better take a closer look at the other one too. Okay. So Miss Scone had actually intended to use these lamps in her display. Then why were they stashed inside the castle? Maybe because they're broken?
Except, there's plenty of other places she could have put them.
The best place to hide some salt is in some sugar. Isn't that how it goes? Or perhaps the best place to hide a tree is in a forest? Anyway, if her intention was to put these salt lamps in her final display, that contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I'll need to point it out by making a deduction. It's deducing time. Could this be related to the evidence somehow? Because the rules of the contest say non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. And she's out here using cloths and salt lamps and all that shit. That's against the rules.
Take a look at the list of rules for the contest, Detective. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration.
Is the salt edible, though? I mean, the salt, sure, but the light bulbs inside are not.
Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. That means the salt lamps and the luminous cloths would have been against the rules.
Is that why they were stashed away inside the castle? Good deducing, detective.
I think we need to dig a little further into this with Miss Scone before we can say for sure.
And there's also this thing. Oh, we're not allowed to look at this thing? This conspicuous little shit sitting here? Okay. Sure.
The doors are nicely decorated now thanks to the beautiful cloth around it. A cloth which we found inside the castle. A welcoming doorway makes a welcoming home. It's just common sense for us detectives.
That one's totally up. Says the man who just trampled all over the castle's entranceway. But I'll hold my tongue for now. Okie dokie. I haven't looked over here yet.
There's a small door on the wall here, just like Mr. Tangaroa's room. Here, I'll open it.
Temperature 68 degrees. Lights set to green.
Didn't Gusto say cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees? Temperature in here's too high.
How much is 68? 68 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius. That's like normal day temperature. That's room temperature, basically. Can't store whipped cream at room temperature. That is odd. I wonder why. I have logic to logic, but first I want to look at the elf that is missing a cloth.
This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others.
It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Miss Scone. Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? But one of my cloths and one of my little machines went missing.
A cloth and... what sort of machine exactly?
Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those luminous cloths are connected to these little thingamajigs. They're called, full spectrum light emitting devices.
For sleds. I see why they didn't try to make an acronym for it.
They send light down...
Wait, is that what LED sound stands for? Hold on. Okay, no. LED is light emitting diode. So the LE was correct, the D is not. Hey, Chad got it. Chad knows his stuff. It's close enough.
They send light down the main cable into each optical fiber strand. That's what makes the cloths glow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color in the whole wide world. Bright red, like ferocious fiery flames. Cold blue, like clinking crystals of ice. They have these special batteries that last for donkey's years, and they don't mind the cold at all.
Forgive me. So these machines, they
what make the special luminous cloths light up all these beautiful colors, Mr. E.
I see. So much new technology, I can barely keep up.
So these light-emitting devices. You lost one of them, and a piece of luminous cloth.
That's right, Lambkin. Heaven knows where they could have got to.
This cloth. It could have something to do with the case. Luminous cloth, special color changing cloth belonging to Miss Scone. She has lost a roll of it along with along with the device that powers it. Words. All right, logic time. That's the wrong button. Logic time. Blunt force trauma. Victim was killed and struck with a blunt object. Bloody lamp. Salt lamp was stained in someone's blood. They got hit with the lamp.
We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt. And we found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon?
For sure. It could definitely do enough damage to kill someone.
You, science guy. Did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamp yet?
Yes, sir. Just got done a minute ago, sir. Which is why I was on the floor looking under the oven, sir. The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it.
There you have it.
Salt lamp found in Scone's room, stained with the victim's blood. So the murder weapon was hidden in Miss Scone's room. I'm beginning to think we may need to add her to our list of suspects. Then we also have running cream and high temperature. The whipped cream is melting and will lose its shape at the slightest touch. The temperature in Scone's room isn't suitable for whipped cream. Da 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 da.
The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high. It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that. And yet, when you open the doors to the candle, the handles themselves were just fine. Yeah. They were sturdier than expected. Sturdy? That's not the way I would describe most things made of confectionaries. I think we'd better take another look at those handles, don't you?
Question mark?
What the? I think it's safe to say those handles aren't made of candy. It's not just the handles, the whole castle, the little elves. They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top.
What? So none of this is confectionery art after all?
No, it's simply made to look like candy with the cream having been added to lend it all an air of authenticity.
Scones' confections were all fakes. What was she up to? She's trying to cheat the baking contest. She must be the killer. No, she's not the killer. She has committed a crime even worse than murder. Cheating at a baking competition. Anyway, Scone's rule breaking and fake confections. Scone used decorations that weren't made from confectionaries, and Scone's confections were all fakes. Crime brulee. Logic.
So not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Miss Scone made a mockery of the rules. Yeah, guess she's not gonna get crowned world's greatest now.
And why is it so warm in here? Do you think it's got something to do with all this? Fake confections. Miss Scone's so-called creations were all fake plastic models covered in a thick layer of whipped cream.
It's a good question. I think we'd better go ask Miss Scone herself.
Let's go do that. Hello, small lady. Sigh. What's the matter, Miss Scone? Oh, man. What is going on with my internet today? I've had occasional dropped frames, and just now my heckin' phone, like, disconnected from the chat for a second. Today's just a day of tech troubles. I've said that so many times this stream. I should stop fucking saying it. What's the matter, Miss Scone? You seemed a whole lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago.
Is it Mr. Von Karma? Did something happen between you two?
Why, yes. Nothing happened at all.
But you just said yes.
Tee. Well, that was a hello yes, you silly boy. Aren't you just the sweetest little sugar dumpling? Remind me, what was your name again?
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie Lumpkin. Oh, you'll go far, dearie, I can tell.
Tee. Eddie Lumpkin?
Seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment.
She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E.
Never mind that now. We should ask her a few questions while we can.
During the contest.
Could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest?
Of course, dearie. Let's see. It all started at about 10 in the morning. That's when we set to work.
Why is reading so fucking hard?
And well, I spent most of the time here in my room getting everything ready, as you'd expect. Oh, and then there was a lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so. Around 1, I think.
Afternoon tea?
It's an English tradition. A chance to drink tea, enjoy a snack, and make small talk.
So, kinda like recess?
I suppose you could say that?
Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy?
Greggy Pegleg! Such a clever boy. What the fuck are these nicknames? Hold on, no, I'm getting him mixed up. Because I was about to say, I'm pretty sure in the fan translation she just called him like Gregsy or something. Actually, no, I think she called him Greggy. And Gregsy is what Iris from the Great Ace Attorney series calls Inspector Gregson. Why do we have a Gregory and a Gregson? In the two Ace Attorney games I played back to back. Anyway, Greggy Pegleg, such a clever boy. When did I become Greggy?
And where was this afternoon tea served?
Out in the garden, of course. There's this lovely little one just outside.
Why is she like this? She just is.
They do that at the same hour every break time during the contest. Lay on a nice little spread, you know. But today only me, Samson Silly Pants, and Moody Judy were there for it.
What? Bruh. I wasn't gonna comment on it, and then I pressed A, and the first one that popped up was Sammy Poople. Sammy Poople. What the fuck?
Okay. Sammy Poople had already finished his big creation, so he was there the whole time. The poor Chillywinks and Gusty fans had to miss out because they hadn't finished yet, bless them. Why is she like this? Oh, these nicknames are significantly sillier than they were in the fan translation. Oh, I wonder what she called them in the Japanese version. Were they this silly? I don't know.
You're saying everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto were present?
That's right, dearie. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on tea and cake served by our two TV superstars. I went right back to work when I'd finished, though. Toodled off while the others were still nattering away.
At any point during the contest, did you visit any of the other competitors' rooms?
No, dear, don't be silly.
That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room.
Caught red-handed.
Wait, so you admit you were there?
Oh, well, I can hardly deny it now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear. I suppose I'd better tell you what really happened. Just promise you'll believe me, won't you, dear?
What happened? What did you do?
What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaroa's room?
Well, I suppose you'd call it research.
Research?
Sammy Poople's a dab hand when it comes to the old sweet making. Everyone knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just popped in for a quick bit of research, like I say.
Confectionery research. Miss Scone visited another contestant's room in the name of research.
What kind of research leaves fingerprints?
Yes, well, it stands to reason I'd leave fingerprints, doesn't it? After all, it's hard to research if you don't have a little nibble now, is it? Is it? What? You ate little pieces of them?
So, the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room, that was all you?
I'm ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. I just had to take a little bite here and there, didn't I? I didn't want poor Sammy Poople getting upset, so it was just the teensiest bits and pieces. And the stand
holding up the ship? You took a bite out of that too, I suppose?
Oh yes, dear, of course I did.
It was you. You brought the whole thing crashing down.
I'm sorry, my lovely, truly I am.
Hold on. Is that why you left the afternoon tea early? You were heading off for a second helping of sweets?
Look, just please believe me, I never killed anybody, I promise.
Your actions were certainly suspicious, but that's about all we can say for now. Well, okay then.
Miss Scone, what is the temperature of your room set? Why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees?
Because I hate the cold, don't I, dearie? Besides, being chilly's no good for a girl.
You're from the UK, isn't it cold there like all the time?
If I want to keep my fresh-faced complexion, I've got to be careful about these things. We ladies have to stay young, you know, don't you know?
How old is she really, though? That's what I'd like to know.
It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, Eddie. But most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees or it starts to deflate.
Is that so, dearie? Well, silly me, eh? I've only gone and made a whoopsie.
Wait, so she really didn't know that? Lack of knowledge. Miss Scone doesn't seem to know the basic facts about making confectionery, yet she somehow made it to the finals.
World-class confectioner, my foot.
Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she's ignorant of basic facts about her supposed craft. Miss Scone grows more mysterious by the minute. Logic time. That's the wrong button. Why can I never remember the right button for logic? She really was cheating in a baking competition, yeah. Why is she like this?
Miss Scone appears to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created, and she says that she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the act of a world-class confectioner competing for a major prize. Yeah, not how I'd picture a top pro acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence, or is she not actually a confectioner after all? Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have her word for it that she went into that room to do some research.
Wait, you mean maybe she went in there to commit a murder?
There's no way of saying so for certain just yet.
But she is hiding something, that much I'm certain of.
Investigation complete.
That's enough investigating for now, don't you think? Yes, we've certainly found plenty of interest.
Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would surely have found the murder weapon when he searched this room. And yet he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what he's really up to.
Detective Bad, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma. Me too. Him and Scone.
Hey, how could you, Batty Bumpkin? Stop staring at me like that.
It appears Detective Bad is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma and Miss Scone as I am.
Miss Scone, would you be so kind as to accompany us?
Of course, dearie. Where are we off to?
To find Mr. Von Karma.
Here we are. December 24th, 8:05 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Room. Oh, there's Christmas decorations everywhere. Man! It's not even December and we've already got the Christmas decorations. It's Christmas in-game, so it's fine. Maybe I should have played this game a bit later. I was about to say, but I wanted to play it so that I could make the next quiz, but then I still haven't sent out DMs to my friends asking them, like, if they want to participate. Oh, by the way, Chud, you're off the hook from participating, this time. I am not about to make you get up early, because Rai wants to participate this time, and I'm not getting you up at a European time. Anyway.
Mr. Von Karma, we'd like to speak with you if that's alright. Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found the murder weapon. We did. It was in Miss Scone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest. Ha! Nonsense.
Wow, Von Karma hasn't aged. Yeah, he comes pre-aged, because this is like 15 years. Or, yeah, 15 years before his appearance in the first Ace Attorney game. And he looks exactly the fucking same. How old is he in this game, actually? 49, okay. So he is still kind of old.
Ha! Nonsense. It doesn't matter where the weapon was found. Tangaroa is guilty. And as long as this is my case, guilty he shall remain.
How can he be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt?
You have an explanation, I assume, for why the murder weapon was in Miss Scone's room? Of course I do. And I'll be delighted to share it with you.
The murder weapon.
Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done.
Why is every bit of evidence they had, like, aside from the fact that the body was found in his room, every bit of evidence they presented so far against Mr. Tangaroa is it would be suspicious if it wasn't like this. It would be suspicious if it was like this. So clearly he set it up in this way to try and make it look not suspicious, and that makes it suspicious. Not a single piece of evidence they presented, aside from the fact that the body was found in his room, implicates him. Bruh. Anyway.
After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon considerably less so. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
Anything to make the baking lady win the baking competition.
So it's your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Miss Scone's room? It is indeed. But it is more than an assertion. It is a fact based upon my own investigation.
You mean you have proof that he did so?
I don't need any such thing. What? Tisk, tisk, tisk. If you have a rebuttal, I'll be happy to hear it. But I highly doubt you'll be able to find a flaw in my logic.
Why is this case just filled with characters? I'm going to have to play something other than Ace Attorney tomorrow. Because I'm not going to have time to record today, but tomorrow I need to record a song, and right now this case is filled with Detective Bad, Prosecutor Von Karma, and all other manner of voices that are just destroying my fucking throat. God damn it. Anyway, the murder weapon. I don't know what to present, so let's just press on everything.
Hold it.
So he took one of the salt lamps from Miss Scone's room back to his own? Indeed. He prepared it beforehand, knowing it would be perfect with which to kill Frost.
Why are the game voices like this? Actually, I don't know if Bad has a canon voice. I think Bad's voice is just what I imagined it as, and it's the voice I gave him when I was playing the first game in my own time, so like, it's stuck with him now. And then Von Karma's, I'm just trying to give him a voice that fits close enough without going as deep as his objection voice.
Anyway, he prepared it beforehand, knowing it would be the perfect weapon with which to kill Frost. But we found the lamp in Miss Scone's room. Surely this casts Miss Scone herself in a suspicious light. Perhaps if you would let me finish. Now, as I was saying.
Played the deception, he took it back to our room. You're talking about the lamp made of rock salt that was hidden inside the Candy Castle, correct?
Precisely.
Fucking... Precisely!
I was the one who found it. So be grateful.
Oh, I should fucking... but I'm already full up on my... there's probably ones that, like, aren't worth anything. I can take a sound alert out to put precisely in there. I'll figure that out after stream. What sound alerts do I currently have, actually? Oh, I can't fucking see because this pops up too big. Okay, get started, whatever. What do I have? Are you a fucking moron? Are you stupid? Vine Boom. Oh! The gates of hell will open on Nintendo Switch. Okay. Blue, yellow, red, purple's kind of dumb, but also that's like... That's legacy. That has to stay. Soda's there. Or, not funny, didn't laugh, and you were close. Maybe O can... Either O or the gates to hell will open on Nintendo Switch. One of those two. Because, like, this is funny, but it has no real purpose as a sound redeem on stream, I don't feel.
The gates to the burning hells will open on Nintendo Switch.
Anyway.
So be grateful. It's thanks to me you were even able to have such a vital piece of evidence. What made you go inside the castle in the first place, if you don't mind me asking?
Good point. Maybe he just wanted to see what it was like in there. It's because he was fucking investigating. What are you talking about? I forget what game they were presenting for that. I think it was like Diablo, maybe? Or maybe it was Doom. One of those kinds of games. Actually, I can just look it up. To the burning hell will open on Nintendo Switch. Okay, what was it? God damn it! I got a meme instead. They edited it to put fucking Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee in the background. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the actual clip. Oh, they've another fucking meme. I just want to find the original clip. They put Captain Toad on it this time. Burning Hell will open on Nintendo Switch. Give me the original. Okay, fucking ad, go away. Okay, I got fucking bass boosted. Unfortunately, it doesn't fucking show the name. Hell Hath New Fury on Nintendo Switch. I don't know what game this is. And they don't link the original. What the fuck? Can no one just link the fucking original? Anyway, hold on, I'll screen cap it. I'm invested in this now. I know we're getting distracted, but the game forgotten. The meme lives on. It is whatever this is. Whatever this game is, this is the one it comes from. Hell Hath New Fury on Nintendo Switch. Whatever this is where the gates to the burning hell will open. On Nintendo Switch. Anyway. Back to the gates to the burning court case.
Fools! You think I went there on a whim? I went in there because detectives are an incompetent lot.
Don't actually remember the game. I might have to find it later. Just to figure out what it is.
So I investigated it myself. But I had nothing to do with the initial investigation.
That's right. Detective Bad wasn't a part of this investigation until very recently.
If you want my trust, detective, you'll have to earn it. And a good first step would be to stop wasting my time. Now, if you'll allow me to continue.
If it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. But he came under suspicion anyway due to the body being in his room. So why... Would you like to hear a favorite expression of mine? Even a dog can hold still and stay. Now let me finish. If only I could say the same to you. Body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon considerably less so. So you think he hid the body in the chest, but removed the murder weapon from the crime scene? Yes. He foolishly believed his own creation to be the perfect hiding place.
Eek! I'm sorry. I had to help myself.
I think you mean you couldn't help yourself, no? She doesn't seem very sorry to me. In any case, the weapon was taken away while the body remained at the scene of the crime. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
Hold it.
But if there's no proof, how can you say for certain that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit? God, why is his voice so fucking deep? Is that the best you can do at pressing me? Listen here, the presence of the body in Tangaroa's room is in itself proof enough of his guilt. To be fair, that is pretty good proof.
Objection.
And you didn't find evidence pointing to any other possible suspects? Perhaps you should take another look. You might... Objection. Imagine me doing my best, but up in a really low voice. You really don't give up, do you? There is no end. There is no need to take another look. Tangaroa is guilty. End of story. If you insist on asserting otherwise, then show me some proof to back up your ridiculous claims. I have to think back over the scene of the crime. If Mr. Tangaroa really isn't guilty, then there must be something that points to somebody else. Pressing Mr. Von Karma on any of his statements won't have much of an effect, I fear. You say that after I've pressed on everything. Oh no! We're dropping frames. Oh no. Internet, please, recover. Internet. We've stopped dropping frames. Oh, there we go. Cool. Cool. Oh no, it's going down again. It's not even raining today. It's just overcast. Come on. Bruh. Anyway, we're almost done with the stream. It's fine. Pressing Mr. Von Karma on any of his statements won't have much of an effect, I fear. My only hope is to find a piece of evidence that contradicts his claims. Okay, so I think what we need to present on is no piece of evidence at the scene pointed to a particular suspect, but what do we present here? Oh, we don't... This, maybe? Oh, wait. Right, because the cloth went missing and there's a cloth on the body. Do we present this now, or is it too early?
Objection.
It is not too early. Let's go. It's true that the murder weapon and the bloodstained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime. But something else remained that does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. We got the music stop, yeah. Also, I just gotta say, Gregory Edgeworth is like one of the most normal looking characters in this series. He's just a guy. The cloth covering the victim's lower half. Is that not one of the same luminous cloths we found in Miss Scone's room?
What's that, dearie? One of my lovely, colourful cloths? At the scene of the crime, you say?
Luminous cloth. Nonsense.
Gregory is also the most normal name, yeah.
I see no light to speak of.
I guess he doesn't know how it works.
It may look like like ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent.
Imagine being named Phoenix. True. Look at his face. I don't think he was expecting that. But the fact that the cloths can be lit up is neither here nor there. What I have to show is why it's important. One of the rolls of cloth from Miss Scone's room went missing. And if you look closely, the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? The sold lamp and the luminous cloth both belonged to Miss Scone. And seeing as the body was wrapped in said cloth, surely even you would have to admit that's suspicious. Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest. Hey, she's got the same fucking apron on that fucking Mr. Sawit had in the previous case. Bow Wow Thylacinus. Why are there two fucking characters with a reference to the Tasmanian tiger? It's like one of two references to Australia in the entire series. Anyway.
Greggy Pegleg, how could you? You're accusing me of all people.
It's all connected. Oh, it is. The investigations games very much go that, like, every case is connected to the next one. Well, not necessarily the next one, connected to the rest of them.
I'm not accusing you of anything just yet, but I do think you're hiding something.
That's not...
Just to clarify, your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Scone's room prior to the murder? Exactly. Tisk, 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 tisk. There's something funny.
No, he wasn't laughing. Unless that's supposed to be how Von Karma laughs, which, like... Jesus Christ.
Only that you've walked so carelessly into my trap. Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. Sorry to have to break it to you.
What does he mean?
Tangaroa spotted them before the contest began, and noted that the lamps and cloths contravened the rules. He subsequently confiscated them and took them to his own room for safekeeping. What? Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost as he secluded himself in his room, and the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing, as he did, the only key. As you now know, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder. So you see, I have everything I need to get Tangaroa convicted. I have had everything I need to get Tangaroa convicted all along. Well, how does it feel to have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom? Nah, this can't be happening.
Wait, all of our hard work was for nothing? Miss Scone, why didn't you tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangaroa? Well, dear, Mannequin said that if I spilled the beans, I'd end up being the one under suspicion.
Mr. Von Karma said that?
And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You two accused me yourselves just a second ago.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Pathetic.
Curse you, Von Karma. You led us to the murder weapon knowing we'd make certain assumptions as a result.
One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are 2, and only 2 sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon. 2? Yes, those of Delicious Scone and Samson Tangaroa. No others were found.
But what if they were wearing gloves?
Tangaroa used the lamp he had confiscated to murder Frost, and was foolish enough to hide it in Scone's room without first removing his fingerprints. Tisk, tisk, tisk. At this rate, no one will even need to testify. My perfect evidence will do all the talking for me as I secure his guilty verdict.
Objection!
But wait, what about the luminous cloth that was left behind in Mr. Tangaroa's room? What about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body. Nah, I don't have enough to disprove any of what he's saying. No more pitiful objections.
No fingerprints is like proving the person was wearing gloves in this universe.
Now get out of my sight.
Especially because we already have this that has no fingerprints, so we know that there was someone at the scene who was wearing gloves.
Now get out of my sight and close the door behind you.
Mr. E! I'm not about to just give up.
I see you mean to waste more of my time. Bad. Escort them off the premises, now. This investigation is not over yet. Detective Bad. What is the meaning of this? Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases half solved. There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified.
He's right. We still have evidence of somebody's activities to account for.
We can discuss your lingering doubts at our leisure, Detective. But whatever they might be, they're no business of the defense's.
Objection!
I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad.
What?
This is the yet identified something that was left in Mr. Tangaroa's room. I'm guessing it's the finger marks. There are finger marks on one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations. Supposing they belong to the murderer, it could certainly explain how their prints didn't end up on the murder weapon.
How did you know so much about the crime scene? Because I let them look around. You let the defense examine the scene, Bad? Are you out of your mind?
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
I don't remember you telling me not to. Insolent worm. You would do well to remember this then, Detective. The results of your next salary review is up to me.
Oh, that's right. Other detectives can also have their salary threatened, not just Gumshoe.
Oof.
Detective Bad's in trouble now, too. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as you remember that the results of your salary review is up to your performance on this case.
A mere attorney uncovering such a fact based on a cursory investigation. I'm almost impressed. But it's entirely possible that those finger marks belong to Tangaroa. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creation.
Objection!
But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there is still something about Miss Scone that doesn't add up.
Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat?
Oh, stop it, Reggie. Stop it, stop it. Why are you being so mean to your poor old pal Delisha? I owned up to nibbling on poor Sammy Poople's sweeties. What more do you want?
I don't want to have to make you a suspect, that much is certain. But you lied to us, and you're still not telling us everything.
Oh, Greggy, stop it. Stop bullying me.
I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't know something as fundamental as that?
I'm sorry, all right. I'm sorry I'm just a silly, muddle-headed girl. What more do you want me to say?
I don't think you're muddle-headed at all. I think you were never a confectioner in the first place. Enough! I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusations to yourself. Evidence is everything in a courtroom, in case you've forgotten.
This isn't a courtroom, Von Karma.
If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand you present something to back it up.
This is... doesn't perjury only count in like a... Yeah. Perjury is the offense of willingly telling an untruth or making a misrepresentation under oath. We are not in court right now. We are at the crime scene. She is not under oath. She can lie as much as she fucking wants. It'll get her in trouble, sure. But it's not against the law. It's not perjury. Thank you for the redeems, Chud. Actually, hold on. Before I say it's not against the law, is lying to police a crime? Okay, never mind. Apparently, making a false statement to the police. Oh, no. Okay, I googled, is lying to the police a crime? According to Google's fucking AI bullshit, it's called public mischief. But according to the New South Wales government, it is in fact perjury. Well, actually, perjury comes up, but it doesn't say that it's lying to the police. What is it called if you... Okay. Apparently lying to the police is just called perjury. Never mind. I thought it was specifically if you lie under oath in court. But I guess if you lie to the police, you are in fact committing perjury. But like, everyone in the fucking Ace Attorney series commits perjury. But this isn't a courtroom, is it? Nevertheless, what proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts? Probably the fact that all of her so-called confections were fake.
Take that.
Every single one of Miss Scone's creations break the rules of the contest. The offending items, the cloth and the lamps, were duly confiscated as we have established. And the witness did not go and bring them back to her room herself.
Objection.
But those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room. What? The entire fantastical world Miss Scone created, every last bit of it. It's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room.
Hey, we got the good music. Hold on, was this... Oh no, this wasn't the one I used. I used the heckin' testimony version. I think. It was something. No, yeah, I used the final testimony theme from the first investigations theme in the previous quiz. Speaking of the previous quiz, when I do it next time, I need to remember to have the music up louder. You could barely hear it. Anyway. No real world title contender would ever stoop so low. Is this true bad? Yep. Saw with my own eyes. Stepped in it with my own shoes. Did we finally convince him? With her lies exposed like this, surely he can't continue to deny the facts. Miss Scone, your actions place you firmly on our list of suspects.
But no, dear, I'm no killer.
Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? Who are you really? And why were you tampering with your rival's work?
Alright.
The truth come out. Delisha Scones is not Baker.
The truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it.
A pharmacist? I can't blame him for being so surprised.
This could be further from what we'd imagined. So what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one? She's just a decorator. Oh, kid.
Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. And semi-poople sweets are the best, or so they say, so I had to enter. I didn't mean to end up making it all the way to the final.
How did she make it all the way to the final? Even Mr. Von Karma is lost for words.
That's it? That's the only reason you're here? Yes, dearie, and it was worth it. Samson's Silly Pants' sweets are the tastiest treats I ever did eat.
Should have been eats. Oh no, she said sweeties and not sweets. So it didn't rhyme, okay.
And the finger marks? Were you the one wearing gloves?
Eep! No. That wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves.
She was preparing food without wearing gloves. Honey. Well, I guess she was preparing whipped cream without wearing gloves. Or I guess... There's like debate over whether... Like, I remember seeing a like footage of like people like preparing like pre-packaged sandwiches in a factory, and everyone was like, bro, the factory workers aren't even wearing gloves, and there was like a debate in the comment being like, if you're not wearing gloves, it's you know to like wash your hands all the times, but if you're wearing gloves, then you can like cross-contaminate things because you forget to change your gloves. And it's like, I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a chef. The only people I cook for is myself and occasionally my family, but that was back when I still lived with them.
Anyway, remember, Miss Scone's fingerprints were found elsewhere on Mr. Tangaroa's creations. I'd say that points to her not having worn any gloves.
Exactly, Lambkin. Greggy Pegleg's got the right end of the stick. I'm an innocent woman.
Is your head filled with cream too?
Sorry, mannequins.
Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Scone, were Mr. Tangaroa's works the only ones you sampled?
No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished after afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Chillywinks' room for a little taste too.
You were in the victim's room too?
Yeah, that certainly doesn't make her look suspicious at all.
Yes, dear. Nobody was in there, you see.
Quite possibly because the occupant was already dead.
But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salty in all my life. So I had myself to one of the tasty star-shaped bits off the side to cleanse my palate.
You have quite the sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Scone? Why is she like this? Indeed, what didn't she sample?
That's everything, I promise.
So she didn't eat any of Gusto's sweets, I guess.
Greggy Peggles.
Peggles? Peggle 2! Sorry. Why was that my first thought?
Mannequins, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things.
As long as what you've told us is the truth, that's all that matters in the end.
Peggle mentioned.
Do not think for a second this means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through. Mr. Von Karma, please, let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we be allowed to investigate the veracity of our own conclusions. Accompany me if you like, but don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation. We'd like to accompany you all the same.
Okie dokie. December 24th, 9 p.m. Contestant venue, Frost's room.
What is the meaning of this?
Oh no!
When we got to Frost's room, we saw nada. It was all gone. The whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden inside a chocolate chest? A murder weapon mysteriously moved to another room? This case was a real peach. It was gonna take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all.
To be continued. I assume the reason we faded out like that was because, so this case cuts back and forth between the present and the past, and I believe we're about to cut back to the present, which means it's actually a perfect time for me to end, because it's 12 o'clock, it's time for me to have lunch. Save twice just to make sure. Anyway, I need to rest my fucking throat. Holy shit. Lunchtime. Let's go. Okay. Thank you all for watching. I would say that we'll be back tomorrow with more Ace Attorney. We probably won't be. Actually, not sure. Because if we're cutting back to the present now, then that means that a lot of the characters with really difficult voices that destroy my throat like that won't be here anymore. So maybe we will play Ace Attorney tomorrow. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I will decide tomorrow morning. We will be streaming at around the same time as usual, hopefully with less tech issues. But regardless, what I stream will depend on how I'm feeling tomorrow. It'll probably be either Ace Attorney or like Hollow Cure, because the new update came out and I want to play it. Anyway. And then I need to like contact some people to see if they're interested in joining the quiz, which I'm hoping either next week or the week after, depending on when I get around to getting people involved. Messaging people is hard, okay? I'm not used to being the one that reaches out. I have to like reread my message like 5 fucking times before I feel confident enough to send it. Anyway, let's see who's online. I know Miko was streaming earlier this morning. But I think, yeah, because she was streaming with Yuri, so she's finished now. Who do we want to raid? You know what? Sure. Let's raid Buffy. Oh, they're still starting soon. That's probably why. The low view account. Oh well. Perfect. Da-da-da. Buffy is apparently playing something called Pinball M. I don't know what that is. But pinball is cool. There are the raid messages. Yeah. Yeah, next stream will depend on, I guess, how my voice feels. Because I still need to do a song cover, and admittedly, the song I've chosen, aside from like the final chorus, it's not too difficult on my voice, I don't feel, but I also don't want to completely destroy my throat before I attempt to sing it, you know. I'm currently waiting for like the ad break to be over before we raid in. But yeah. It'll either be more Ace Attorney or I'll just fucking play Hollow Cure. Yeah. That's all from me. Why am I so fucking awkward when trying to end a stream? That's all from me. Thanks for watching. Otsukame, bye bye, and see